What's going on, guys? I'm Jada Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about an Instagram model by the name of Abigail Ratchford. She has over, 9 million followers on Instagram, okay? And she's basically talking about how this situation that we're going through in the world is hurting business. And she apparently is losing money, okay? Now, we're going to get into this article from TMZ first, all right? It says hundreds of thousands of folks are out of work due to the current pandemic, and even smoking hot girls who get paid for social media posts are feeling the pinch. Abigail Ratchford, who has a legion of 9 million Instagram followers, tell TMZ her IG sales are grinding to a halt amid the outbreak, which is alarming considering she used to make around $500,000 a year from sponsored IG posts, endorsing products, paid shout outs, and merchandise. I didn't think that would stop. Promoting products. I didn't know that it would just come to a halt like that because, one, she's online doing this. Unless, she has to be at certain locations like beaches or things of that nature in order to promote those products. I mean, if you're right there at home and you're doing it online, might be something else going on. But anyway, Abigail says she still has monthly deals that require her to post and keep some cash flowing in, but she got to get creative to produce content because she can't call on makeup artists, hairstylists, and photographers due to Cali's safer at home order. Now she's a one-woman band. Well, if that's the case, you need makeup artists, hairstylists, and photographers. I could see that basically being an issue. But from what I know from some Instagram models, they film a lot of their sponsored products ahead of time. They actually film days, if not weeks in advance. They have a bunch of stuff that they've already took photos on, so that they don't get to a point to where, they need a hairstylist, a makeup artist, and a photographer. This is why you would have certain Instagram models who they basically do their own makeup. But the fact that because you gotta look at it this way: if you're making $500,000 a year, right? You got the lifestyle that you have to pay a makeup artist and a hairstylist. She ain't making $500,000 a year. Let's just say that, unless she's dating the photographer. Okay. There is a silver of hope for the self-proclaimed queen of curves. Abigail says other IG models are paying her for shout outs to drive traffic to their pages, and it could continue because it's harder than ever to bring new followers. Really? Well, I will say this though, it is, because it's so much competition to be an Instagram model. There's so many women who come to social media every single day. They go right to Instagram and they see what these other women are doing, and they start doing the same thing. You got women who work regular jobs trying to be Instagram models. Females in the military, female police officers. Then you got middle-aged wives trying to be Instagram models. All these women are trying to compete for the attention-seeking market. And it seems that market is starting to dry up because people are starting to be like, it is what it is. You've seen one, you've seen them all. And I think that because it's getting so competitive, you got all these women getting surgeries. All these women bodies basically look the same. Even Abigail, she looks just like any other Instagram model, all, enhanced up. So it's competitive in that case. That's why a lot of these newer Instagram models can't get a following, because you got so many other women out here who look the same, who they have to compete with, who, already pages have already grown, Let's see. The outlook is much worse for Ella Rose and her 800,000 IG followers. Ella, who is Julian Edelman's baby's mother, if you don't know, Julian Edelman plays for the New England Patriots, tells us she hasn't had any new ad inquiries since last week, and she's used to getting a few daily pitches from companies asking to pay her for tag posts. Now, ain't that a shame? Okay, this is what happens. Okay, when you rely on Instagram, as far as the attention-seeking market is what I call IG, the attention-seeking market. When you rely on that, it's gonna come to a point to where people just don't care, because if you've seen one, you've seen them all, And people have to understand is that Instagram ain't what it was 2 years ago, even 3 years ago, when these IG models were more of a novelty. Now you got, like I said, you got regular chicks out here trying to be Instagram models. But what people have to understand is a lot of these chicks aren't making money. They aren't. That's why they go get flown out to Dubai and some of these other countries, because they're making extra money by getting with rich billionaires, And I'm pretty sure y'all know what I'm talking about. And that's what happens when you see these chicks in Dubai or on private jets. They're getting flued out because, once again, y'all see that these women financially are already on a thread, and they're relying on sponsored posts. This is another reason why women got to learn how to save money in times like this. But they don't, because they have expensive lifestyles. You have this female who, has makeup artists and things of that nature, spending way more money than that's coming in. Okay. Ella says she had 2 photography shoots scheduled this week, but the photographers both canceled. Now she's using a timer to shoot her own content. Another IG model with over 2 million followers tells TMZ a lot of her prepaid posts are being put on ice because some of the products were from China, and the companies are worried about the backlash and insensitivity surrounded what's going on with the Rona. What's more, she says a lot of her long-term contracts are ending in a couple of weeks, and companies want to wait until April to renegotiate. Desiree, who has 400,000 IG followers, tells TMZ things are pretty tough right now, and it's hard to get content when you're limited to only shooting inside your house, though it's forcing her to be more creative and think outside the box. Well, the majority of these Instagram models take photos in their house. But the reason why they don't want to do that is because they have roommates. A lot of these chicks have roommates, or they're living with somebody. Okay. They're not living a lavish lifestyle. Okay. They don't have a backyard 9 times out of 10. They don't have a front yard. So they have to go and film in the kitchen or film in the bathroom. Okay. This is why, again, man, these chicks trying to be Instagram models, you need to have other sources of income, other skills. Like, why don't you try doing your own hair? Why don't you try doing your own makeup to save money? Okay. Also, doing other things outside of just using your body for attention. Don't mean you got to get flown out, but a lot of these chicks who are going through the struggle, who were on the fence about getting flown out, or they're going to get flown out at the end of this particular situation, this quarantine. By the end of this quarantine, you're going to see a lot of chicks getting flown out. Okay. Who basically, especially the ones that were on the fence. Desiree says she had brands back out of working with her because of the sensitive nature of the climate that we're in, and other people were delaying payments or scrapping plans for paid posts because everyone is losing work. Bottom line, pretty much every Instagram model is worried about the future as a typical American worker. Tough times indeed. Yes, it is indeed. This is why you don't rely on the attention-seeking market in order to be able to make it out here, but they are relying on it, unfortunately, and they're in a situation now where, you know, they're economically, they may be in a bind, you know. And you know what's really crazy is that, like I told y'all before, a lot of these Instagram models that a lot of women claim that, you know, all the eligible, successful men are dating and marrying. They're not dating and marrying these women. These women are single. These women are very single. They're not with nobody. You know, they don't have a man to pay the bills, take care of them, you know, because a lot of these women aren't relationship material. They're not. So they are out here relying on these quote unquote sponsored deals. Because y'all gotta understand, not every Instagram model is getting sponsored. You still got the Instagram models that are making, you know, who have like 50,000, 100,000 followers. They're not getting sponsored posts to, you know, promote. They're not. Only certain amounts, but not. You know, folks, this is why I would tell a lot of women that are aspiring to be Instagram models that they should really do some research into the goings on and how much money is being made, what money can be made, because I'm sure that there are Instagram models making money, you know, but they don't necessarily do just sponsored posts. Like I know one that, you know, people send her stuff and they'll pay her up front and she'll promote whatever, you know, brand that they're from. And she seems to be doing okay, you know, but you got some of these females that believe that they're more of the high-end Instagram models. They only want to promote certain brands, and it's like, okay, what's going to happen when that dries up? You need skills. You need to be able to do different things. If you're just relying on that in these particular times, you're going to be in a bad spot, you know. And I just think there's no forward planning. There's no, you know, what can I do if this doesn't work, if that doesn't work? You know, this situation that we're dealing with this Rona, it did come out of nowhere. But at the end of the day, you have to be prepared, because you just never know what's going to happen unless it happens. You know, but to say that I'm surprised that you have Instagram models complaining about what's going on and how it's affecting them, they probably weren't making a lot of money to begin with. And if you're making 500 grand a year, you need to be setting some of that money aside for the rainy days. But obviously you have this female who just isn't doing that. You know, they aren't doing that. And especially if you're choosing to be an Instagram model, because like I said, not a lot of them are actually making money from this. You know, they're not. There's some that are, but there's some that aren't. The ones that are using it smartly they're doing okay. But then you got the ones who think that they're runway models and they only want to promote certain brands. Once those brands ain't calling, then what? You know. But I just thought it'd be interesting. Y'all let me know what y'all think.